Narrow Spurs got stretched but then opened up the fullbacks to claw back to a final score of Barcelona 2-2 Tottenham in the International Champions Cup. The proverbial game of two halves saw a narrow Tottenham team stretch to the limit in the first. After the interval, a shift in personnel and style thrust the fullbacks forward to level the scores at Barcelona's 2-2 Tottenham in Pasadena. USA.Narrow Spurs get stretched. Barcelona's reputation for neat passing football saw Mauricio Pochettino line Tottenham up in a very narrow 4-3-3. The formation had been used in Roma 1-4 Tottenham to surround the labouring Fernando Llorente with pace. Pochettino altered it here so as to cut off Barcelona's passing lanes through the inside channels. The issue for Spurs was that it gave Barcelona plenty of room to move the ball early to the flanks. As a result, Barcelona shifted play quickly across their formation in either one or two passes, or a long diagonal switch. Narrow Spurs set up concede space out wide. Barcelona rampant from wide. Barcelona's quick movement of the ball ran the Tottenham shape from side to side and provided 2 goals in the first half. Just 14 minutes were on the clock when Munir El Haddadi opened the scoring. Barcelona started by playing down the left, causing Tottenham to collapse to this side. Sergi Roberto then switched play with a raking pass towards Rafinha Alcantara at the back post. The Brazilian had pulled away from Kyle Walker-Peters, allowing him to easily win the header. Sergi crosses for Rafinha as Carter Vickers loses Munir. Whilst this was going on, Cameron Carter-Vickers had lost Munir, who had slipped off his shoulder. As Rafinha's downward header bounced enticingly along the goal line, Munir arrived to make it 1-0. Rafinha heads down for Munir to score. Barcelona's switch of play from left to right saw them stretch a narrow Spurs defense to take the lead. 15 minutes later and they would double their advantage doing the same. Spurs were caught narrow once again as Juan Miranda had the ball in space on the left. His raking long diagonal pass picked out Rafinha in acres of room on the right. Miranda's crossfield pass to Rafinha against narrow defense. Rafinha's exquisite touch to bring the ball down instantly was impressive. His layoff for the arriving Arthur Melo to whip it into the top corner finished off a superb move. Spurs had been caught narrow once again, expecting tiki-taka and succumbing to long diagonal switches. Tottenham make changes. A narrow Spurs team had been stretched to the limit by Barcelona's insistence on keeping their width and relentlessly switching the ball from side to side. The second half saw Mauricio Pochettino make both personnel and tactical changes that addressed the imbalance. 2 key moves were made. Firstly, Pochettino shifted the shape of central midfield. The 3-chain of Moussa Sissoko, Luke Amos and Christian Eriksen became a triangle. Oliver Skipp was brought on to partner Luke Amos at the base. Christian Eriksen was moved into the number 10 position. Second, Ben Davies was restored as a fullback after starting as a centre-back. Serge Aurier and him were then tasked with staying high and getting forward to push Barcelona's wide players back. Midfield triangle and high fullbacks during the second half. The changes dragged us back into the match to a scoreline of Barcelona 2-2 Tottenham as both Davies and Aurier created a goal apiece. Fullbacks on the attack with Ben Davies and Serge Aurier in the fullback positions. Tottenham were much more aggressive going forward. Davies applied the cross that eventually wound up at the feet of Son Heung-min to get us back in the game. Davies combined well with George Kevin Nkoudou, who found his run with a neat pass around the corner. Nkoudou plays in Davies' forward run so he can cross. 2 minutes later and Nkoudou was on the score sheet himself. Anthony Georgiou initially released right back Serge Aurier as he flooded forward. Aurier's forward run attacks the back line. After being repelled at first, Aurier delivered another whipped-in ball to the middle, which caused a goal line scramble. Georgiou saw his shot blocked on the line, but Nkoudou arrived to hoover up the rebound. 2 goals in 2 minutes and back on level terms at Barcelona 2-2 Tottenham. Aurier delivers the cross for Nkoudou's goal. With Barcelona tiring in their first pre-season outing, Spurs finished much the stronger. Eriksen, Son and Aurier combined excellently to keep probing through the inside right channel, but couldn't get the vital game-winning goal. The match ended with a score of Barcelona 2-2 Tottenham and went to penalties. Penalty shootout. The penalty shootout saw some interesting takers as Ben Davies and Davinson Sanchez both stepped forwards to dispatch spot kicks. However, it was Anthony Georgiou who missed, giving Barcelona a 5-3 win on penalties. Barcelona 2-2 Tottenham. Overall, the Barcelona 2-2 Tottenham scoreline made this look like a better performance than it really was. Not only did the Spanish Giants play a vast number of their Barcelona B team players, but Spurs also got their initial setup wrong and were dominated in the first half. A switch in the formation and tactics, combined with Barcelona tiring in their first pre-season game and making a raft of changes, allowed us back into it. Moving our fullbacks higher and altering the central midfield shape pushed Barcelona back and saw us remedy the 2-goal deficit. After the Roma performance, this felt like a step backwards, with many of the bright lights from that game flickering here. Fortunately, there is another chance to work on this new version of 4-3-3 that Mauricio Pochettino is employing on this tour against AC Milan on Tuesday. Final score, Barcelona 2-2 Tottenham. MOTM, Rafina. If you enjoyed this post, please share.